Hearing the personal accounts of war veterans is a unique experience because most of them never wanted to talk about their combat experience. Same with Amos Almeida. It wasn't until his children watched the movie Saving Private Ryan and they recognized the shoulder patch, saying like, "Hey Dad, weren't you in that same outfit?" Turned out that Amos was a paratrooper in the 101st Airborne Division, and he went through almost all the campaigns: Normandy, the Netherlands, Battle of the Bulge, Rhine. But he never talked about it. Now that really sparked the interest of his children, and they wanted to know more about their dad's service. So they encouraged him to, for the first time since the war, attend an annual reunion. They brought him up to the reunion where he was gathered with his old war buddies, including one of his close friends, Tony Lujan. And they start talking about the war, about Normandy, about the Netherlands, about the Battle of the Bulge, and so on. After that reunion, his children wanted more. They really wanted to bring Dad back to the battlefields. So that happened in 2008. But when in the town of Champs, a little town near Bastogne, Amos immediately recognized many of the buildings, and all these memories started to come back. And he started to relate the stories to the locals in Champs. One day, Amos said, it must have been around Christmas. It was extremely cold and we were dug in our trenches in the back and front yards of these houses, holding off the Germans who were sending in artillery fire. But suddenly, he said, because we were extremely hungry, we noticed an eluded pig got killed by a shell fragment. Well, later Almeida confirmed that the pig was shot by a hungry GI. So he said, I ran to the dead animal and cut a big piece of meat out of it with my trench knife. I couldn't use it right away. I had to let it rest for a while so I can cook and eat it. So I hung it on a fence post next to my foxhole. Now shortly thereafter, Almeida was sent out to collect some bazooka ammunition. So sometime later, when he returned to his foxhole, he noticed someone had stolen the pig, leaving him hungry as a horse. Now in 2006, at the first reunion, he met up with Tony Lujan, and when they were getting to the part of talking about the Battle of the Bulge and Bastogne, they were like, oh yeah, it was a rough time and it was so cold. And Almeida said, yeah, and how hungry we were. And Tony said, like, whoa, I wasn't that hungry. Because, you know, some idiot left a piece of meat hanging on a fence post, so I took it and I ate it. So Amos was like, well, you what? So after Amos told that story about finding out who took his meat in Champs in '44, the locals of Champs organized, they put together a barbecue and invited Amos and his family. It was a really sunny day, a really sunny afternoon in 2008, and they all gathered around the barbecue, and the only meat that was used was pork chops and bacon. So finally, 64 years later, this American hero finally got his piece of pig on the former battlefields.